Welcome to Kieran, who I will be asking football questions for his YouTube video. Who do you go to the games with?
I go with my two brothers. I sometimes go with my nephew as well. He comes along. I used to go with my dad, but sadly he died last year. And I go to a game. I go with a friend of mine as well, Mark, who sometimes comes along.
What is your earliest memory of Sligo Rovers?
I used to come out here now and again. I'll tell you one thing I do remember. I think it was in 1994, where where Sligo Rovers won the FAI Cup and we were put into Europe, and we played against a team called FC Bruges. Sligo Rovers played, and FC Bruges were a big side at the time, and fortunately Sligo lost on aggregate, but they played quite well in both games. And if they would have won that, they would have went on to play Chelsea. So that's what I remember about. That's my earliest memory of Sligo Rovers.
When did you go to your first game?
My first game was in September 2000. I was here with a week with my dad, and we decided to go to a game. I forget who we played, but we won 1-0, and we stood in the old Jinx Avenue stand, which was quite destroyed at the time, but you wouldn't recognise it now. It's all been done up well, and we stood in there.
Do you have any funny stories?
Oh, good. Quite a few, actually. There's something called Chipgate. If people Google Sligo Rovers chips, and you'll be able to find the story. I was at a game, and it was Sligo against Cork City, and one of the players, Cork City, I think it's Cole Shepherd, he had a shot that went wide, and at the same time I had a box of chips in my hand, and the ball hit me in the face, hit my chips, and it all went all over the pitch. So I'd lost all my chips, and somehow someone found out about it and decided to take some pictures of it and put it up on Twitter, and everyone was talking about it after that.
Wow, your claim to fame.
And also there's a couple more as well. I do remember coming back from Galway one day, and we stopped I went with the fans in a minibus that was hired, and the fans came along. We were coming back, and we stopped off to get something to eat and drink, and behind us was a Sligo Rovers team coach. They dropped us off as well, and I was talking to someone. Oh, look, the Sligo players are here as well. And we started singing, we went over to them, started singing songs to say, oh, well done today, blah, blah, blah. Then two people got off a bus. Oi, you lot flipping forgot us. We went there's two fans that missed the bus, so I had to get the team coach to catch up to get onto our bus.
Oh my gosh.
And that was quite funny. Yeah, and what else was there? Oh, something else as well. Well, I wouldn't say it was funny, but it was more remarkable. I couldn't believe someone could do that. I was in the gym, and where Sligo Rovers used to train in the gym for their fitness in the Clayton Hotel, and I was on a cross trainer. And at the time, Paul Cook was manager. He came into the gym, and normally he'd acknowledge you, and I said to him, oh, all right, Paul, how's it going? He was on his phone, he looked at me and just nodded. I thought, it's a bit miserable, it's not normally like that. And the thing was, the night before, we lost to Shamrock Rovers at home 2-0. So the next day, I thought, God, he's a bit miserable. So he went into a gym, and I had my music on really loud. I like it loud. And I could hear him shouting and swearing. I thought, what the hell's that? He was telling off all the players for a poor performance in the gym, and I heard it through loud music and a really busy gym. He was so loud, everyone could hear. And when I finished, this is actually a true story, I went into reception to cool down with a glass of water. You could still hear him through all this glass and all these. You probably could hear him a mile away. It was quite loud.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah, that was. It's not like a funny story, but it's an amazing story.
Yeah. If you can bring back a former player in their prime, who would it be?
Joseph Ngundo. I can only go on by the players because I only started going to Sligo Rovers in 2010, so I can't really say before that. But yeah, for me it would be Joseph Ngundo. He was an incredible player, and I'll give a few people a mention as well. There's another former player called what's his name? Tony Fagan. He played in his 60s and 70s. A lot of people have mentioned him, so probably him as well. Yeah, probably him as well. Yeah.
What is your greatest moment supporting Sligo Rovers?
Winning the league in 2012. I was there that day. I remember it well. We started well, and the game didn't really go our way in the second half. We lost a 2-0 lead, but luckily we got a penalty in the end, which we scored. Debatable penalty. A bit lucky, I think. I won't deny that. We were a bit lucky to get it, but that's my favourite moment. And when we won the league, that was incredible. Yeah. And the FAI Cup wins as well were great days out.
What got you hooked on Sligo Rovers?
I've always loved football, and I moved from England over to here in 2009. And I'm used to watching English football, but and it took me a while to start watching Sligo Rovers. I started going a little bit when I took my nephew one day, and by then everyone was coming. My dad decided to come, my brother decided to come, and another brother of mine, when he moved out here years later, he decided to go. So we all decided to go together, all four of us. And I remember watching Sligo Rovers in the FAI Cup in 2009. We lost. It was live on TV. We lost, but I remember that as probably my earliest memory of actually watching Sligo Rovers. One of my earliest memories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the best player in your opinion as Sligo Rovers?
Again, Joseph Ngundo. I just absolutely loved the guy. He was brilliant. He did things on the football pitch and make you think, is he a robot or something? You know, no one human can do that.
Yeah.
And I remember back here we did. You know, you have to watch it. If you Google online, you'd be able to watch it. No player should be able to do that, but he did.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I have a quick funny story with Joseph Ngundo. I did a interview with Rafa Cotero, another player, about a year ago on another topic, and he mentioned a very funny story to me. There's one game where Rafa Cotero was playing. He's playing right back, so every time he had the ball, Joseph Ngundo would come and show for the ball for him to pass it to, but he had 3 players marking him. So Cotero said, I'll give it to somebody else, pass it elsewhere. And he did it once, but after the second time, with Cotero, Joseph Ngundo went to Cotero, pass me the ball. And Rafa Cotero goes, look, but you have 3 players around you. I can't pass it to you. And Joseph goes, I don't care. Give me the ball. Just give me the ball. So the third time he gave Joseph Ngundo the ball. 3 players was around him. He held off one player with his arm. He bent over and held off another player with his bum, and held off another player with his other arm. He got round all 3 of them, ring on him, and he scored a goal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who is your favourite manager down through the years?
We've had quite a few. I really liked Ian Barraclough. He was one I liked, and Dave Robertson was another one. But before that, the man that I started watching Sligo Rovers, who was in charge at the time, Paul Cook. He was a very, very... Not only was he a good manager, he was very entertaining. He was great in interviews, and he was such an honest manager as well. And that's what I loved about him. He was such a good manager, and he built a brilliant Sligo Rovers team. Yep. He came in when Sligo were about third or fourth from the bottom in the league, and we lost 4-0 to Derry. He left us when we finished second in the league, and with two or three trophies in the cabinet, and that's a big difference from when he came and when he left. He made a great, he built a great side then, great side.
Thanks very much for that, Kieran.
That's okay. Yep. That's okay.
What do you think of the plans of the redevelopment of the showgrounds?
I think it's quite exciting. It does go through my mind though, I will be honest, for the amount of money, it is a lot of money. It's going to finish in 2028, so it's going to be the 100-year anniversary of Sligo Rovers, and we're building, we're going to extend the stadium from 4,000 to 6,000 fans, and we're going to have a couple of outside the stadium. There's going to be a couple of shops. There's going to be a club shop and a museum, which I'm very interested in, a Sligo Rovers museum. And so we're going to build that and build seats all around the stadium. And the price of it is £17 million. It's going to cost, and it's going to cost about £2 million a year to build it. So that does go through my mind. It's quite a lot of money, but I think if the club couldn't afford it, then I don't think they wouldn't have decided to go through with it. But I suppose I have to get the fundraising bucket out again, which I do a lot of, which I don't mind at all.
That's great, Kieran. Thank you very much for that.
You're very welcome.